Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Timeless Talks. In today's episode, we're going to chat about 2025 wedding trends. I'm super excited to see some of these throughout the year, so I'm going to kind of give you guys my opinions and we'll dive into it. But before we do, I am filming this the week of Super Bowl Sunday, and I am so excited not only for the football. For those that don't know, I was a cheerleader, so I kind of like I'm into football a little bit. I don't watch football every Sunday, but I'm also excited to see if Taylor and Travis get engaged. And I know some of my people on here are not Swifties and don't care, but I am super curious. I feel like I'm on the edge of my seat. um, so do we think he's gonna propose? Some people have said it's gonna be like in the middle of the halftime show or it's gonna be at the end if they win. And I personally do not think he's going to propose. I feel like he is going to do it on his own time and it's going to be private. So we'll see. I don't know. I am on the edge of my seat though, I will say. So we'll find out. Also, this upcoming week is Valentine's Day, and I am so excited. I actually am having my mom come down. She's going to come watch my little baby. And my husband and I are also going to be celebrating our 2-year wedding anniversary. And we're going to go out, and my parents are going to watch my boy. So I am excited. This is the first time my husband and I will get to go out since having him, which will be almost 9 months. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure the whole time we're going to talk about Jackson. So I am really excited for that. But enough about me. Let's jump into the 2025 wedding trends. Also, before we jump into that, I just want to say that every year you will see different trends and things come back from previous years as well. But it is so important to have a wedding that is true to you. So if you like Chick fil A, have Chick fil A. If you like tacos, have tacos. But stay true to who you are and don't have a wedding based on these trends. But yeah, I'm going to kind of give you guys my opinions on everything. So the first thing is floral trends. And I love the floral baskets. So, if you guys don't know what this is, some bridesmaids will, not some bridesmaids, brides choose for their bridesmaids to have a little basket with flowers in it instead of carrying a bouquet. And I love this. I am so obsessed. I think it just is very like chic and boho, and I love it. And it kind of goes along the lines with like the groomsmen if they have little floral pocket squares. I'm just living for florals, guys. I feel like the more florals, the merrier. The only downside is like having so many florals is expensive, but it's worth it. Like, do it. So yeah, the little floral pocket squares and the flower baskets, I love. I am obsessed, and I really hope that that trend stays this year. Um, and then we also have like the lush, overgrown, and like floral arches, which I'm also super excited to see more of this year. I I love how people have been doing away with like wooden arches and just having like the floral. So gorgeous. Love it. And it kind of reminds me of like when boho was super, super popular, like the boho wedding theme. Um, I say that like I didn't have a boho wedding myself, but it used to be really popular and I absolutely love that. But the garden theme, I cannot wait to see more of this with like the greenery. And I know this is a very biased opinion, but I love baby's breath. So seeing greenery with some baby's breath, oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited for that. Um, and then also another thing is a lot of brides have been using like more sustainable flowers. So they've been using like homegrown flowers and locally sourced flowers as well. Um, and I think I'm here for that as well. One thing about florals, I will say, is that I didn't know this, but I feel like it's become more prevalent these days, is that once you are done with your wedding, with your bouquet, you can get it pressed and dried. And I personally had no idea about this. So what I did is I literally just like hung my bouquet and it's just all dried and sitting in my garage somewhere. So I have like nothing to do with it. So I wish I had known this before because I definitely would have done that. So if you didn't know, now you do. Hold on one second, I'm taking a sip of water. Sorry. Okay, but yeah, I think the floral pressing is gorgeous. So keep that in mind for when you are done with your wedding. Another thing is that fake florals are out this year. And I'm not gonna say, or I'm gonna say, sorry, I am gonna not miss that. I really am not the biggest fan of fake florals, and we can chat about this more in a future episode, I think. I think we should chat about things not to cheap out on for your wedding. But hey, if you have a small budget, that's fine too. So fake florals are fine. I'm not saying like absolutely not, but I'm saying in the sense of trends, I think fake florals are out. So we will see. And then the next thing are bridal fashion trends. Guys, I have been loving the scarves, the silk sleek gowns with scarves. Obsessed. I think it's so modern, luxurious, and oh, gorgeous. I literally cannot wait to see more of this year. A lot of brides have been doing away with like patterns and lace and just going sleek and modern. Love it. But again, I also love, I feel like all I'm going to do is like go back and forth for all of these just because every wedding is different and everyone has their own opinions, and I'm here for both of them. Like, that's my job as a photographer. I'm going to love everything and anything you do at your wedding. But this is just like my opinion on what I think. So I love the sleek, modern gowns with the scarf. I love the scarves. Um, and also, veils are making a comeback as well. I saw a lot of brides last year did not have veils. And I love that. But also, I do love a good veil shot as well. So I'm here for the veils, guys. I think Cathedral is coming back, which I'm biased, but I absolutely love Cathedral. I had a Cathedral veil. But there are some downsides with having a cathedral veil as well, just so you know. No matter how well I put it in my hair, it fell out at least 5 to 10 times. So there's some downsides, but a cathedral veil is just absolutely stunning. And I think the pearl detailed is also making a comeback this year, and I am so excited to see more of that. As a photographer, I keep saying that, but as a photographer, it does add some dimension in our veil shots. So I love to see that as well. And then, okay, here's another one, the embroidered veils. I feel like this really was super trendy when Hailey Bieber did hers with the Till Death Do Us Part, and I loved it then. I still love it, but I would be okay if we don't see this year because I feel like it just adds like a little, it takes a little too much away. It's like, I feel like, okay, cathedral veils are very dramatic, but adding the embroidery, it just is like a little too much going on because you have a lot to look at, when the bride is walking down the aisle. So I don't know. Maybe it isn't too much. Maybe it's just like, I don't know. It just like kind of takes your eyes off of the bride. So I don't know how I feel about the embroidered veil. So we'll see if that stays this year. But yeah, the next thing is minimal dresses with a statement piece. So like bows, gloves. I've seen even capes before. And again, like I said, I love the little tiny sleek dresses with the silk. So I think I love this trend and I want it to stay. I've also seen some gloves lately, and it's just so beautiful. It like brings us back and just it reminds me of very English. And also, I'm gonna say it reminds me of Bridgerton, guys. And I don't know, I love it. So scarves, gloves. I also had a bride. She had a very vintage gown, and then for her reception, she changed into a short little midi white dress, and it had a big bow on the back. Loved it. It was so gorgeous. So I'm here for the bows. I'm here for the scarves. Love it. Um, Yeah, so next we're gonna chat about decor and venue trends. Um, so this is a very interesting one. Multi-day celebrations and like long weekend weddings. And I love it. Guys, the longer you can celebrate your wedding, do it. um, if I could go back, I probably would have done this, but either having like a vacation wedding or like a destination wedding and having your close family and friends come out to you and just spending a weekend together, I think that is so beautiful and so intimate and I love it. The long weekends, I just think like it just gives you more time to spend with family. So I love it. I love the idea. Um, and I wish there was like a way where you could kind of like incorporate wearing your dress twice, just because I feel like you spend so much money on this dress and you wear it once. Like, can we find out a way to wear it twice? But also, like, on the other end of that, I personally am very traditional and I wouldn't want to wear my wedding dress twice just because I feel like your wedding dress is only meant for your wedding day. But I also see, like, why not do bridal portraits the next day or something? For those of you that don't know, also, there's an option to do bridal portraits instead of like on your wedding day. You can, this is another trend as well, but you can have your wedding, not put any time set aside for bridal portraits on your wedding day, but you go either the next day or like a week later or something and you do your bridal portraits then or even before the wedding. But I, again, personally, I'm very traditional, but I think that like that's super unique and cool because you just, you get to wear your wedding dress twice. Bang for your buck there. So I don't know. It's different for everybody, but I personally wouldn't do it. But I do like, again, we're back to the long weekends. I love that. So yeah, the more time you have for your wedding, love it. Um, and then also bold colors. That's supposed to trend this year, and we're going to be moving away from neutrals. No, that can't happen. I love pops of color, do not get me wrong. Like the summer vibes, so like little pops of summer color. Love. I'm obsessed. But to completely move away from neutrals, I don't know. It reminds me of like my sorry, I had to get another sip of water. But it reminds me of like my kid. I have so many neutral toys because the bright colors just like I don't know. It's just not for me, but hey, it's different for everybody again. Um, but I would like to see the neutrals and the garden theme and everything. I'd like to see that stay. So we'll see if we get into like those moody tones and like really bold colors. So I'm kind of excited to see. I know we've seen like definitely a lot of like 70s coming back with like disco balls and everything and the checkered dance floor too. Um, but I don't know if the bold colors are gonna stay. Like, I hope it doesn't mean bold with like neons. Could you imagine? That would be so cool to capture though and so different if someone had like a neon wedding. I don't know. Now I'm interested. Okay, and for entertainment, this is something I've seen a lot of last year, and it's live painters. I love this. I think having like a very hands-on frozen moment, like a piece of art to hang up in your home, to be a family heirloom, like I love that. And like these painters, they sit there and paint like how? I don't understand how painters do it. Like, oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful, so artistic, so creative, and I love the live painters. Okay, we're on to our last topic. I feel like I've been doing really short episodes. At some point, I will definitely make them longer, but for now, until I can like get some nice equipment and everything, we're gonna keep them nice and short for you. But the last one is the audio guest books, and these are not going anywhere. I feel like they're here to stay, and I love these. It gives it a very almost like modern take on the past, if that makes sense. Like, I know we all use those little, well, we didn't, but our parents used the little dial phones, and now they're kind of like bringing that back, but to make it an audio and digital guest book, and I like it. Um, but I also think I like like the hard copy guest books as well. So it's just personal preference on that one. But yeah, 2025 is going to be such a fun year for weddings. I cannot wait to see if these trends hold up. And if you're planning your wedding, I would love to hear what trends you want to keep and what trends you want to see go. Um, and yeah, what trends you're most excited about too. So, next episode, maybe we'll dive more into motherhood. And thank you so much for listening. I will see you in my next podcast.